Hello YouTube, Reseller Mom here. Welcome to today's video. Today I'm doing a quick walkthrough on what to do if you get an inbound performance alert. This is for Amazon FBA shipments and they require you to do some action. The inbound performance alerts and dashboards has been newly developed. Some of the stuff has been around for a little while, but it is definitely not that old, and they keep tweaking all of the dashboards and interfaces. And this is one where I think they've done a pretty good job on streamlining it. Some of the things you may disagree about on when they find problems. It's Amazon. Sometimes it's easier just to click through, acknowledge the problem, and move on with your day if it's, and some problems are worth fighting. Today I was unpacking some returns, some recalls, and I love, sometimes Amazon just makes me shake my head. Somebody took my item, it was labeled correctly, and they decided to relabel the item with a different SKU. So instead of it saying ketchup, they put mustard on there, and then they sent it back. So I don't know what happens over in the shipping warehouses, but shenanigans are definitely happening. All right, this is what you do. So what happens is you get an email, and hopefully you have your email notifications set up to where you will receive them. That is something you need to look at, because Amazon's going to send you a lot of emails. I do filter out quite a bit of emails into a particular folder called Amazon, but there are other emails such as anything that has action required, alerts, customer emails, customer messages that I'm going to make sure hits my inbox so I don't not see them, because you don't want a couple of IP complaints or a couple of customer complaints or a couple of these to stack up. And some will tell you, there are some emails that say you have 48 hours to delist such and such item or you're going to be in trouble. You don't want to skip over any of those. And Amazon doesn't care if you're on vacation, just so you know. There's no vacation for you. You still need to respond to customers and respond to these emails. You can't come back 2 weeks later and be like, well, I was out of town on holiday. They don't care. I hate to tell you, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but they don't really care. So we've got this email. The title was called Action Required Inbound Performance Alert, and then it had ASIN number, blah, blah, blah. Greetings from Amazon. I'm writing to you to inform you that we've temporarily blocked your ability to send ASIN blah, 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 because of problems. Sounds really scary. It's not. They just want you to acknowledge, correct, fix, move on. And any business that ships things out, that should be part of your standard. We go over any problems on a weekly basis in the office, whether it's, hey, we're getting more complaints because of items being broken. We need to adapt our packing to any of these types of problems, to customer feedback, etc. And we're always, trying to get improved. And sometimes I will package things, overpack them, and then I'm not getting any complaints. So maybe I'll reduce the amount of packing I do, and maybe that causes more complaints or not. So you kind of got to weigh out all of that stuff with your business. Below is a list of the problems encountered on this ASIN in the past 90 days. Problem quantity. There's a few other problems that you could get. If you send a box that's over 50 pounds, you're going to get a nastygram. If it's over 25 inches and you can't have it over 25 inches unless if your item is actually over 25 inches and you're only sending in that large oversized item, you're going to get a nastygram. Wrong quantities, no label, that's one that you're going to get a nastygram about if you forget to label something. And they'll charge you, you acknowledge, you move on. So you forgot to label something, you live, you learn, you move on. All right. From this, eventually we're going to click this right here, this link that goes to inbound shipment workflow summary problems, and it has the shipment name there. That's just on your shipping dashboard. You can find your problems there too. And usually if you're on your shipping dashboard, there'll be a little red, I think it has an exclamation point, a little red mark. It's easy to look and find it. If you scroll down on this email, they outline what they expect from you. And I think this is pretty important to make sure you understand. It is your responsibility to ensure that your products are sent e-commerce ready to Amazon fulfillment centers. This means it is prepared for all steps, including inbound process, receiving, stowing, outbound process, picking, packing, shipping, and it's according to all of the guidelines and can be processed without delays caused by unplanned services such as labeling, bagging, or bubble wrapping. If they have to do any labeling, bagging, or bubble wrapping, they're going to probably charge you, I think it's 20 cents or something, and you might get a little performance notification. If you have too many performance notifications, you will get suspended or disciplined in some form. I was kind of surprised. I think my inbound performance percent problems was 0.13. And I was like, oh my gosh, 0.13, that's pretty amazing, right? That's like less than 1%, 0.13%. And then I saw that my overall allowed percentage was 0.36. So yeah, you definitely don't want to have these stack up because it could get you in trouble. If you want to read more about this, you can go click the link in there, and maybe you don't know what you're doing wrong, and you can go read the policies if you're not familiar with that. All right, here is what it looks like on the box level problems. You're going to see something that looks like this. It's going to have the box ID, the title, problem, performance, measurement, unit, how many units, next steps, kind of what the problems are, additional quantities encountered, and this one was unexpected item found. This one with the unexpected item found, what happened was there was, a bunch of different things in there, and my staff counted wrong in the box, and they thought there was 3 of one thing and 2 of the other, and it was really vice versa. There was 3 of the other and 2 of the one. So, it happens. My people that pack are human. It will happen. So, I try to make sure my level of harshness on issues matches the severity of the issues, if that makes sense. Like, you miscounted 1 out of thousands of units, yeah, I'm not going to get upset about that at all. If you blatantly forged an expiration date, yeah, that's going to have a much more severe consequence with me. Anyhow, if you're doing it yourself, also, don't be so hard on yourself. If you're packing out hundreds of items and you mistake 1 or 2, don't beat yourself up too hard either. These all seem pretty rough, but it's whatever. It's not that bad. All right. Next steps, you're going to hit this resolve button. And then go to the next screen. Come on, mouse. When you hit resolve, you get a couple of options up here. You can look at the problem reported. I didn't screenshot that for you guys, but the problem reported was there was not the right quantity in the box. You can resolve the problem, which is where you go click through this, you acknowledge that you did a no-no, and you show that you can do the rules, and you hit continue, and everything's fine, and it marks it off as acknowledged. And if you don't think you did anything wrong and that they're full of it, then you click the submit this dispute, which that happens often too. Amazon's not perfect either. So far from perfect. So far from perfect. So if you can prove that what you sent in was correct and they miscounted, submit that dispute. It may ask for an invoice or a packing slip. Sometimes you can, the packing box contents that's from Inventory Lab, sometimes you can use that. Sometimes you can use your inventory or your invoices and just kind of dispute that. I had one time where I sent in some pans and they nested together and I did not put them in a poly bag and they counted that as 1 pan. And I'm like, no, it was like 10 put together. You take them up. Anyhow, I didn't wind up winning that because it's hard to argue with Amazon, but I did dispute it at the time. It was a different interface at that time. But, if you have something that you're clearly thinking you need to dispute, go ahead and dispute it. All right. They're going to ask you different questions, and how I approach this is I go ahead and I have this open on one screen, and on a different tab I'm going to open up the inbound. I'm going to type into Google, Amazon, FBA inbound shipment requirements, and then I'm going to either answer these questions, and sometimes you know them, Sometimes it's a obscure policy on these questions and you need to go look it up. So if you have the actual Amazon policy on another tab, then you can usually do a Control F and find the answer if you don't know it offhand. So, you know, let's go through these questions real quick. They do switch them up, so you may not get these exact questions. It is important that the context of each box that you send matches the box content information that you provided in the shipping plan, because it allows us to receive more efficiently, it allows us to allocate more quickly, it allows us to make your inventory available for sale sooner. All of those sound like, yeah, that's why they want you to do that. That's pretty self-explanatory. But I do like going into depth on these emails or on these types of topics, because I know there's a lot of people out there that English is a second language and it may be a bit confusing. The next one, pay extra attention to the details of each ASIN that you send in, such as size, color, variations, to make sure they match what you plan to send in. This is another one that you should be like, yep, that's a no-brainer. Yep, that's true. It is acceptable to substitute submitted products with another product. Okay, this is another one that you really shouldn't have to look these ones up. That one's false. You cannot substitute other products. I feel like Amazon does that sometimes, but we're not going to go down there. All right. Once you have taken your slap on the wrist, answered your questions, you go ahead and click continue, and it will go here. I have read and understood the FBA inbound shipment requirements. Hit submit, and you're done. There's no further action you need to do. Finito, done. Move on with your day. Don't let it get hung up on the negativity of these things, but also, you know, keep an eye out on any of this stuff. I often check my inbound shipment performance, my feedback, my voice of the customer, and pretty much any feedback on any area. If I'm launching new bundles, I'm going to be watching for the product reviews as well to make sure that people are, you know, happy with the product that they're getting and there's no developing issues. What you want to always be proving to Amazon is that you are on top and you are customer centric. You are going to take care of the customer and you are following the rules. They like people that follow the rules and provide good customer support, and they are on top of problems and they answer and keep on top of these in a reasonable amount of time. Don't ever, you know, take your account and be like, oh, I'll deal with those 3 IP claims next month or those customer complaints next month. No, you want to be on top of that stuff. It never pans out to let those things simmer with your account. Next thing you know, you'll be suspended. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Pretty lengthy. Like I said, I do like to kind of go into the nitty-gritties on these things, or it would be like a 2-second video. Just follow the steps and click submit. I mean, it's really not that difficult, but they can be a little. When you first start Amazon, there's like a lot of information. So that's why I do them the way I do. So hope this helped you out. If you like this video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up, and take care. Have a great day.